Whenever I'm working with young people, my goal is to be able to give them the tools that they need to be masters of their own destiny. My name is Maggie MacDonnell, and I'm a teacher working in Salouet, Nunavik, Canada. The definition of a teacher here is a lot more broad than it might be if you were a teacher in Toronto or Halifax or Montreal. In an Inuit community, you have this privilege of being able to build these very authentic relationships with your students and with the community.
A lot of young people go and talk to her because they have trust on her. So I think she's a very precious person to the community.
Do you remember the dates, Alana? The majority of the challenges that Salouet faces are rooted in the colonial history. And as a result now, youth on a daily basis face a lot of trauma in the community. Currently, many activists consider that the region of Nunavik to be in a suicide crisis right now. Witnessing the funerals of my students is one of the hardest things I've ever gone through, and I never want to be in that position again. As an educator, I build programs that cultivate resilience, hope, and build self-belief in my students. These tools come together to combat suicidal thoughts. I'm very lucky to be teaching in a project-based classroom, so I have a lot of freedom. This year I've really focused a lot on art-based projects because I find it's particularly therapeutic for them to express themselves in those means. Lastly, a very important project that we've been doing for the last 4 years is a project I call Students Feeding Students. In this project, my students every day create a healthy snack for the entire school body. The students are coming in with a lot of baggage. They've been in criminal trouble, known for vandalism, they're known for dropping out of school, they're known for bullying. So I'm trying to create projects for them to contribute to the community in really meaningful ways.
Maggie is really an expert at having a more open learning environment. I've seen the students go from one of the students that maybe caused the most trouble in the school to the student that helped the school out the most and is now an employee at the school. So Maggie's open approach to education, I feel, can really motivate kids that have difficult home lives.
I'm also very proud of the cooperative work placement at the daycare. It is a mutually beneficial partnership.
My daycare would not run without Maggie and her fantastic girls. We are training them to be future leaders for the daycare, and hopefully they will take over my job.
They're gaining so much confidence, so much self-esteem, and so much value and meaning from working there. I've always been so passionate about sport and physical activity as a tool to build resilience in young people, but I've literally seen it and tasted it here on a day-to-day basis in Salouet. And it's not just about the athletics or this performance-based outcome. Along the way, there's so much youth development going on. When I'm working with my runners, an expression I use a lot is that when you run by yourself, you go fast. But when you run with others, you can go so far. I've had youth who've joined the running club. They've actually quit smoking cigarettes. Some have quit smoking marijuana. Some have even come back to school. I've even had youth come to me and tell me when they were going through a very troubled time, when they were having suicidal thoughts, that they were able to use exercise and running as a coping tool to deal with that.
She's been my teacher, my coach, my trainer. Through the years, she has become like a family to me. I am just thankful for everything she has done for me, and my family, and for the town.
If it wasn't for Maggie, I wouldn't never experience of being in college.
We're so happy that Maggie came to our village because she was helping young people. She's a role model for the whole community.
I think so many people come to the Arctic and they come here and they're mesmerized by the land. But what has always inspired me as the youth that I work with, I really believe they're the true Northern Lights. I'm just here trying to find ways to take down barriers or challenges so that they can shine, so that they can dance, so that they can light up our lives.